Okay, the shack is literally an old house. It's it's about a 700 square metre block here with about 100 metres from the beach, which is just over that back fence down there. We normally just enter through the back here, bit of a car park on the back lawn. Pretty simple old place here. Out the side here we have a little outside room. There's a few beds and a bit of a breakout room in here. That's my Brady drum kit, which we won't be using this weekend. The drummer will be bringing a Gretsch, his own Gretsch, which we will be recording with. The band's called Said the People. Should be here in half an hour or so. So this is the outside room. It's not used for anything except for basically storage and for guitar cases and so on. Out here is the bathroom, toilet, shower. In the main room here is the tracking room, the main tracking room. This is it here. So basically, I'll just put some lights on. This corner is where my Brady is normally set up on that mat there. I've got 12 mics set up for the drums tonight. Typically run kick, 2 snares, 2 toms, hats, overheads. I've got the Rode NT5 match pair overheads up there. Also run a couple of room mics. We've got a couple of small condensers. It's not a big room, but it's quite live. It sounds pretty good. We've got some small condensers I'm going to try there, pointed up at the ceiling to give us a little bit of room reverb, a bit of natural feel. Guitars we normally set up here and here. And what I'm going to do with the guitars, 2 guitar players in the band. I'm going to try SM57 and a Rode M5 to give us some variety, and also DI. And we're going to do that to each guitar. I'm not sure if we'll track them separately or together. We may try and do it all at once. We may try and do it separately. Bass. I've got a bass amp here, which is a really good Gully & Kruger into a Mesa Boogie boxes. It's Kev's, a friend of mine. We may or may not use that. We might just DI. We normally get pretty good success with that. So this will be the main tracking room. Spare leads. Just the 8 there is Karma Joe, who hears no evil. He's our emblem. In here we have the vocal booth, which is a Rode K2 tube mic. Works really well. We've had some really good vocal sessions in here. It's a simple little booth. I do have a temporary booth that can go on a mic stand. I sometimes use that. Depends on where we track. Sometimes we do vocals in the center of the room, but most of the time we do it just here, and normally works pretty well. We do have a little kitchen here with a stove, a fridge, microwave, coffee, tea, and so on. Works pretty well. Into the just before we go on, the tracking room has 6 fold-back sends. At the moment I'm going to run 3. There's a small mixer here and a pair of K 6400s and 8400s, and we have 4 sets of them. So we have a fold-back mix over there on the main vocal booth. We have one here in the main tracking room down there, and then we have another one over here in the drum corner. All of that comes off the main console, which is inside the control room. This actually is reasonably well treated, and what we've got in here is the main console and the interface here, which is a PreSonus 1642 AI. Works really well, and able to get some pretty good mixes in here. Speakers are PreSonus Scepter 8s, and they just sound fantastic in here, so I really like them. Everything goes in through this MacBook Pro with a really old monitor as a second monitor. The control room window here is acoustically treated glass. It's a double layer. It works pretty well. There is, just under that speaker on the wall, is a mirror which looks straight back into the vocal booth, so I can communicate reasonably well visually with the singer, but also have a talkback mic right here, up here, which goes through the desk and into the headphone mix. I do have some PA speakers in here. I just have them here because I had nowhere else to put them. They're JBL Eons and some subs. Occasionally when I'm in the mood, I'll crank them up to give the guys a feel for what it sounds like cranked up, but they're really overkill in here. But I've really just got them here because I've got nowhere else to put them. This is my old and original recording setup. It's a TAC A3440 quarter-inch 4-track. This is when I started recording many years ago, and it still works, and I did some pretty good recordings with that, but it just sits there now just to show the guys what the old days used to be like. This used to couple with a MQ1202 Yamaha console, which I still have as well, and it still works, but I don't use it anymore. What else is in here? I've got some spare microphones down here and some road cases. I've got my Gretsch snare drum down here on the floor in its case. I didn't bring my Gretsch kit up here because the drummer is bringing his own. This is one from my swing kit, which and blues kit, which works pretty well. It's a beautiful blue drum. Sounds pretty good. I quite like that snare drum. So that's the control room. What else do we have to show in here? Nothing much really. It's a pretty simple setup, but it records really well. So anyway, that's the studio. It's the shack. It's in the southwest corner of Western Australia, and we should be making some noise and getting all tuned up tonight for a big weekend of tracking with a band called Said the People. Catch you later. Cheers.